Are you serious about wine, Carmela?
Well, not really.
Well, do you think a wine needs to be serious?
Well, if it's serious, I think it needs to loosen up.
Okay, all
Maybe
right.
it needs a glass of wine.
Okay, well, regardless, today we're going to talk about a wine that some people, including us, have given a bad rap, but we think deserves more respect.
Ah, sounds good.
Hello, and welcome to the Wine Pair Podcast. I'm Joe, your sommelier of reasonably priced wine, and this is my wife and my wine pairing partner in crime, Carmela.
Hi there.
And we are the Wine Pair.
Yippee.
Okay, a quick orientation for those of you who may be new to the podcast. In each episode, we learn about and taste and give our completely honest review of 3 wines that are reasonably priced, which means under $20 each, that should be easy for you to find. And our podcast is made for people who want to learn more about wine or find new wines to enjoy and just want someone to talk about wine in a fun way that normal people can understand.
Ooh, I like those kind of people.
Okay, so if that sounds like you and you're one of those people that Carmela likes, you are in the right place.
All right.
And we are proud to say that we are recommended by the editors of Decanter Magazine, who call us fun, irreverent,
Chatty.
and entertaining.
Wow.
All right, Carmela, today we're going to be talking about a very serious subject.
What?
I mean, usually we joke around and we have some fun, but today we're all business. And I mean it. I mean it.
Are you
No
sure?
laughing, no joking.
We must not be drinking wine today,
No,
then.
well, we are.
Well,
No sarcasm from you.
right.
No sarcasm. And by the way, just to add to the seriousness, I'm trying out a new microphone. I'm not sure if I like it or not, but we're going to break it in
We'll
and
see
see
if
what
they
we think.
even notice.
And
Like
we'll
if-
see how if I get angry about
Wow.
it. Not just serious, but angry.
Why would you get angry?
I don't know. Why does serious seem angry? Anyway,
Sometimes serious people are angry.
that's true. Okay, so today we are serious because we are going to make the case that Rosé made from Pinot Noir is a serious wine.
Oh, I don't know. Why does it have to be serious?
I don't know.
Maybe just like enjoyable.
well,
or fun.
enjoyable, but I want it to be serious.
Okay.
And with just about
I think you think that people need to take it seriously.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Take it
okay.
seriously, people.
Okay, yeah.
And we've got just about a week left of summer as we record this. It's the middle part of September. But, you can still enjoy this summer sipper. There's a little bit of summer left, but still, even outside of summer, you can enjoy this wine.
Give it a go,
Give it a
right?
go.
Any time
That's
of
right.
year.
We think Rosé of Pinot Noir is a great year-round wine. So there. Now, I think there are those of you out there in listening land, I've just tried that about 15 times, who are in one of 2 camps on the subject. And Carmela, we're going to find out what camp you're in.
Okay.
Camp you're in.
Camp.
Okay.
Whoa.
Anyway.
I'm not going to that camp. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
Especially in that camp you're in. Okay, there are those of you who love rosé and think it's an excellent wine, but are tired of people making fun of you for liking it. Are you in that camp?
Well,
just
okay,
wait.
okay.
Stop interjecting and let me make.
Okay, ask the question
Okay,
again.
and then no. Are you in the camp of people who think rosé is an excellent wine, but are tired of people making fun of them for liking it? Or are you one of those people who just think rosé is not a serious wine and that serious wine drinkers would never drink a rosé, even one made from the noble Pinot Noir grape? Which camp are you
That's
you
a
in?
lot. There's a lot going on in those questions. Like each camp, there's a lot. I mean, the deal is that I don't find that wine needs to be serious. I think rosé needs to be taken seriously by all kinds of wine drinkers, and I really don't care what other people think because if I enjoy it, then I enjoy it.
Okay,
Is that what you wanted to
I'm
hear?
going to put you in the. I'm going to put you in the camp of the people who think it's a great
The
wine.
first camp.
You like it.
Okay, the first camp.
All right. Now,
How about you?
Well, I'm in the first camp as well. We're going to camp you're in together.
Oh.
And I realize there are probably more than a few of you out there who actually don't really think about rosé all that much or care about it all that much or really don't have that strong opinion. But that's okay because this is still an episode for you because it's a serious and important subject.
Oh my goodness. I don't find it serious.
Okay. Seriously.
But that's fine. That's fine. Keep going.
Now, Carmela, we have been in situations where people flat out disparage rosé.
Well, even my dad
I know.
for a long time would not. He was like, turned his nose way up.
Yeah, like it was cheap or it's unserious and it's made from the refuse
Is
of red wine
unserious a
grapes.
word?
I made it up. I don't
Okay,
know.
okay.
I don't know. Google didn't say it was wrong.
Okay,
So,
maybe it is.
but I will say that the deal is that for serious winemakers, real winemakers, artisanal winemakers, rosé is a serious wine.
For sure.
I mean, making a great rosé is just as challenging and time-consuming as making any other wine.
I bet.
And
I bet it could be even more challenging for some.
I bet it is. And I think, too, like any other wine, there's winemakers who make great rosés and winemakers that make crummy rosés, and that's probably true of all the wines that they make.
Mm-hmm.
I will also say that we used to be in the second camp that felt that rosé was not a serious or important or good wine.
We were a little snobby about it.
We did. That didn't mean that we didn't enjoy the occasional glass. But
I think we were worried that it was like a glass of wine that there was a little bit of white wine and a little bit
Yeah, I think we didn't know what it was. I think you're absolutely right.
We were like, ooh, they took the bottom of each bottle and mixed it.
They put
and
water
that's why
in it.
it's
What, did
pink.
they take a red wine and put water in it or something?
Exactly.
No. But in fact, one of our earliest episodes, Carmela, ever was the F That Wine episode. We don't even do the F That Wine episodes. And it was F That Wine Rosé.
Oh, wow.
Do you remember that?
And did we try them and decide whether or not we thought it was still like F them?
I think so. I don't remember what we
need
F'd
to go back
on that one.
Wow, F. I mean, gosh, we were tough.
We were tough, but I think we've come around.
For sure.
And the reason we came around is that we started to find some rosé wines that we really liked.
Mm-hmm.
And one that we found that we really liked is the type that we're drinking today, which is Pinot Noir Rosé.
Right. Okay.
And then we've also had some other rosés that we really love too, like rosés made from Nebbiolo or rosés made from Aggiorgitico, it's a Greek wine. It's really fun. And then we started drinking sparkling rosé. And I think that was really the thing that kind of put us over the edge. We love a good sparkling rosé.
Right.
So over the next couple of minutes, we're going to learn a little bit more about what makes rosé of Pinot Noir special, maybe serious. And we have 3 rosé Pinot Noirs from the U.S. and France that we're going to taste and review to see if they're worth your hard-earned money. But first,
you got to do our shameless plug.
That's right. So we want to thank you for listening to us and for supporting our show. And if you haven't had the chance to do so yet, now would be the perfect time to subscribe to our podcast. After all, subscribing is a free way to support us, and then you never have to miss a show. And we want to thank all of you who have subscribed already. And another great way to support us, Carmela, is to leave a nice rating review on our website or on Apple Podcasts or some other podcast service so we can continue to grow our listeners.
I love it.
And then you can follow us and see pictures of the wines we're tasting and trying today at Instagram at The Wine Pair Podcast. You can follow us on Threads. You can contact us on our website, thewinepairpodcast.com, and you can sign up for our newsletter and get all sorts of fun stuff there, like food and wine pairings and recipes and all sorts of fun stuff. And I said fun stuff already, so it's really
so fun. It's extra fun.
Exactly. And as we do every week, we're going to tell you someone we think you should tell about the Wine Pair Podcast. And this week, what we want you to do is, when you're in a conversation with somebody, we just want you to throw out there, what do you think about rosé? Just randomly. Like, what do you think about rosé?
Should you be drinking wine with this person?
No, I think just any conversation. You could be at work.
I was just saying,
you
is
turn
it
to the person
appropriate
next to you
at work?
and you say, what do you think about rosé?
Like, give me your honest opinion about rosé.
Yeah, and whatever they say, whether they love it or they hate it or they don't think about it or whatever, then send them this episode of the Wine Pair Podcast and tell them to listen.
Okay. Well,
I feel like I'm doing a lot of this today.
What are you doing? You're just finding your deep end voice.
I guess. I don't know. I'm weirding out. I don't know.
Wow.
But what do you think about that?
I like it. I really like it. I think it's kind of interesting that you just want to like
randomly bring it up.
Right.
Why not?
Okay.
So Carmela, let's start off by talking about what gave rosé a questionable reputation before we talk about what made rosé great. How about that?
I'm interested in this.
And I think we have to remember that rosé is a style of wine, and that style of wine will depend very much on how it's made and what grapes it's made from. And we're going to cover a bit of this in this episode. And we have links to articles where you can find out more in the show notes for this episode. So just go to our website, you click on the episode, you scroll down to find the show notes. That's what you do. Okay. Anyway, so there are a few reasons that rosé has had a bad rap. And one is something we talked about several weeks ago in our episode on California Zinfandel. I don't know if you remember this, but there was the California Zinfandel is underrated. And if you remember this, we talked about Sutter Home wines.
Right.
And in the 1970s, they started making a wine from the runoff juice from Zinfandel, which was like sweet and low alcohol. And they called it white Zinfandel, even though it's pink. It's actually a rosé. And these wines are also sometimes known as blush wines. And it was a hit with customers. Like, people loved it. And people who wanted something easy to drink that they could put some ice cubes in. And it was a really popular wine. And in fact, in 1987, it was the most popular domestic wine in the U.S.
My goodness, I remember it.
But
I wasn't drinking it.
You weren't
at that
drinking
point.
it in 1987,
no,
were you?
but I remember Sutter Home. And
yes, and that pink wine.
Yes, I do.
In a box even, I think maybe.
Oh,
I don't know.
boy.
Maybe it was in big bottles. But anyway, that was not a serious wine.
I guess not.
It was a rosé wine. It really
Right,
was not a serious
right,
wine. It's fine. It wasn't meant to be a serious wine.
Right.
It was meant to be kind of a fun and easy drinking wine.
But again, I think whatever you like, whatever you enjoy.
like.
It doesn't
Whatever you
have to
like.
be
But I'm not
serious.
done telling my story. Okay, so here's another reason why, they've had less than a positive reaction to rosé is because some producers do make it as a byproduct of wine production rather than what you would call an intentional wine, right? Like a wine you made specifically to make rosé.
Right, but they're doing it more now where they're making rosé.
Yeah, well, they always have, but there is this other method. So, and I've got an article from the LA Times on it, but it's called the Sanyé method. And in that method, what they do is they bleed off juice that's in a fermenting tank of red wine. And when this is done, they do it to make the original wine that's fermenting more concentrated. And the runoff wine tends to be a little bit sweeter, sometimes kind of cloying. And this byproduct wine, it either gets thrown out or it gets made into a style of rosé or a type to rosé. And so I don't think I would consider these, and I think a lot of people would consider these less serious wines because they weren't created with the original purpose of making a rosé. They're making a red wine and they're like, hey,
we got some
leftover. We can either throw it away or try to make a little bit of cash off this stuff.
I get it.
So then, Carmela, you may ask, what makes rosé a serious wine?
Yeah, I may ask that. I'm asking it. Tell me.
Okay.
What makes rosé a serious wine?
Thank you for asking that question. So the method of rosé that makes it a more serious wine is called the direct press or the maceration method. And it's used by winemakers who are intending to make a rosé wine from the get-go. And it's a more traditional method. So it is a method, it's not new, it's something that's been used for a long time. But what happens in this method is that the grapes are specifically grown to be made into a rosé. They're crushed and they're pressed to create the color and the flavor the winemaker is looking for. So they're specifically grown, they're specifically pressed, they're specifically picked, etc., to be a rosé. And that's why they call it intentional wine. And the process of keeping the juice in contact with the skin is called maceration. So that's why sometimes it's called the maceration method. And what the winemaker does is they choose how long they want that skin to be in contact with the juice. And for a rosé, because the skin is what really colors the wine or the juice, they will not leave it on the skins for more than 24 hours. It's usually a couple of hours to 24 hours. We've talked about this before in other episodes, but that's what makes it a rosé. So it's not white and red wines mixed together. It's not that. That is not what it is. And so the longer it's kept on the skins or the longer it's macerated, the more color. And that, again, these are from red wine grapes. So in this method, again, the grapes are picked at a specific time. They're usually picked a little bit earlier in the season because it creates a little bit lower alcohol wine and a higher acid wine. And it's usually a little bit less sweet and lighter in flavor than those that are made from the Sanyé method, because those are fully ripened grapes, and so they're sweeter. And then when the runoff comes, then it's a little bit of a sweeter wine when they do it that way in the Sanyé method.
Okay, interesting.
So now the next question you may ask, Carmela, is why do we think rosé of Pinot Noir is so special?
Why do we, Joe?
I don't know. Why do you think?
Because we really like Pinot Noir to begin with. And if they're going to make a rosé with Pinot Noir, we are going to love it.
That's right. And rosé Pinot Noir tends to be really dry, really crisp, really bright. Some people call it vibrant, and it's a food-friendly wine. It can be slightly sweet, but it's in a gentle way. It's not a cloying sweet.
Yeah,
it's like
not at all.
a refreshing almost kind of sweetness to it. And it can often be described as like fresh or juicy and mouthwatering. That acidity can make it mouthwatering. So that's why we really like it. And I think another reason why we really like it is that we kind of judge our wines based on how well they go with food.
Right.
And a rosé wine made from Pinot Noir that's really crisp and acidic is going to be a really nice wine.
Friendly.
Yeah, with food, like a white wine that's crisp and acidic. It'll be the same kind of thing. So we would say, look for Pinot Noir Rosé that comes from good producers too of Pinot Noir wine. If they make a good Pinot Noir, they're probably going to make a good Rosé of Pinot Noir.
Oh, I love this. I'm so excited.
Yeah, and I would try and find wines that are made in this maceration method where they talk about they handpick the wine specifically for rosé and all that kind of stuff.
Grapes, they handpick the grapes.
That's right.
Okay.
So on that note, I think it's time to learn a little bit more about the specific wines we're drinking today.
Okay.
And I will just say this one thing, and I'll explain why in a minute. There's not quite as much information about these wines as we usually have. And
how come?
Well, because I got them at Total Wine. Okay, let's just get to that. As usual, the wines that we have chosen for this episode are under $20. So that's good. That's good. And all of them should be relatively easy to find because, again, I bought them all at Total Wine. But I will say Total Wine is convenient. Every time I go there, I gotta say, I kind of feel like I never want to go there again.
Why is that?
Because I'm always a little bit suspicious about their wine selection.
Huh.
I don't think they have although they have an amazing number of wines. Like, you can go in there and be like, I'm overwhelmed by the number of wines that are in this wine shop.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think they're all that great. I feel like it's a conglomeration of crappy wines half the time.
Huh.
I shouldn't be so down on Total Wine.
But then why
nice.
is it that you don't have as much information about these particular wines?
Because what they very often do is they either get mass-produced wines or they have this winery direct wine. And these are wines that they make, deals with the winemaker, and they probably, say, hey, we'll buy a ton of your wine, just give us a good price. And because of that, these are often not reviewed wines. These are wines where, like, maybe the winemakers, there just isn't a lot of information. I find very often that I just have a hard time finding out information about the wines. Like, they don't have good websites. It's hard to figure out, much about them. So I just don't love that. I really want to know. If you want a shortcut and it's like a Total Wine, I like going there, it's convenient, it's fine. Like, I'm not judging you.
Right.
I'm just saying, for me, I like to know more about the wines. And so going to Total Wine for me, sometimes I just find it frustrating.
So you just went there, but you're not super keen on going there often.
Yeah, and the reason I go there is because I do know that people go there. It's a big national wine shop. And so I'm trying to choose wines that I know people are going to be able to find.
Right, they're accessible.
Yeah, but if I'm going to go, I just don't love going there. I just have to, I hate to say it. I just don't love going there. And by the way, they do love their Cabernet Sauvignon and Chardonnay at Total Wine. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay.
But I'm digressing. I'm talking too much about Total Wine. You should be able to find these wines at Total Wine for sure, because some of them are winery direct wines. And you should be able to find them on wine. But I think if you dig around, you can easily find Rosé of Pinot Noir. You just have to dig around for it.
Okay.
And then remember, while we love Rosé made from Pinot Noir, we may not love these specific wines. So you have to stay tuned, because after I talk about these wines, we're going to do our tasting, and then you'll know, like, hey, what do we really think? And by the way, what do we always say about our tasting, Carmela?
We say that it is really our opinion.
That's right.
And
is it right?
Not necessarily. We think it's right. We'll stand behind it for sure. But, we understand if your taste is different than ours.
That's right.
We're not offended.
That's right.
We don't feel bad. And you shouldn't either, right?
You should feel good.
Yeah. Well, you should just feel mediocre.
What?
Average.
You should feel
average
okay.
about it.
You should feel like us.
Men's
average. Men's and men's.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay. So the first wine that we're going to taste and review today is made in the Pays d'Oc wine region of France. Pays d'Oc looks like Pays d'Oc. PAYSD''OC, the Pays d'Oc, and it's called
I was like, is there two
Pays
D's,
d'Oc?
two
No,
O's?
that's what it looks like. Pays d'Oc. Okay, but I don't speak French well, but I'm going to try this. It's called the Dautefroid Pinot Noir Rosé.
My goodness.
That's right. So Pays d'Oc is in the southeastern part of France. And I'm going to wine nerd out for a second. And this area is a large wine designation called an IGP. And they have different wine designations in France. The IGP is not as strict as the AOC designation. How about that?
Oh, wow.
And this area, Pays d'Oc, it overlaps with the wine region called Languedoc-Roussillon, which is on the Mediterranean Sea near the border of Spain. So I think that's the important part. I'm not going to go a ton into it because we could talk about it for a while. But this is an area of France that has a Mediterranean climate, hot, dry summers, etc. But what's really interesting about this is I don't think the wine grapes are grown in that area.
What?
So on the label, the wine is called a Vin de France, and that's the most basic type of wine. It used to be called Vin de Table, which is table wine. So it's a Vin de France. And in a Vin de France, the grapes can come from anywhere.
Oh, weird.
They can come from anywhere. And in this case, the grapes probably come from another area of France because Pays d'Oc is not really a place where they grow a lot of Pinot Noir.
Okay, that's strange.
I know. So this is kind of weird. So I go to Total Wine. I'm looking for a Pinot Noir Rosé. I choose this one, but I'm not really convinced. I kind of think this winemaker just buys Pinot Noir grapes and makes rosé.
So maybe you don't need to go visit that place.
Pays d'Oc?
Yeah.
Not for rosé. No. Maybe not. Okay. There wasn't really a ton of other information that I could find about this wine because this happens all the time on Total Wine. But there are a lot of places online that sell the wine, and all of them basically have the same short descriptions and information. And I'm also not sure if this wine is made in the direct press method or the Sagny method, but I have read that in this region of France, they use the Pays d'Oc region. They use a more traditional method of winemaking. So maybe they do use the direct press method. I don't know.
Oh, boy.
I don't know.
Okay. It's cryptic.
So this is a lot of I don't know. There's a lot of I don't know.
Okay.
If you know, let us know. Okay. So the next...
If you know, you know.
You know,
If
you
you
know.
don't know, you don't.
I know, right? Okay. So the next wine we're going to try comes from the Willamette Valley of Oregon. And it's called Conscious Pinot Noir Rosé.
Wow.
And
a conscious bottle of wine.
It's aware. It is self-aware.
Exactly.
Exactly. No, so Conscious is a label within the Samuel Robert Winery. And their wines are often sold at Total Wine. And I've seen the Samuel Robert wines in grocery stores all over our area as well. Now, this wine received a 90-point rating from Beverage Dynamics and whoever they are. And the 2020 vintage got a 90 rating from Wine Enthusiast. Okay, so again, this wine, I'm not sure if it's made from the direct press method or not, and there wasn't a ton else I could find out about the wine. And as I was trying to pull together the show notes for this episode, the website, and even today, so I wrote this episode a little while ago, but I went again today. The website it's not down, but there's something wrong with the website. They even say it on there, like, hey, well,
error.
Exactly. They say like, we'll get the information back on the website soon. So
liars.
I can't even
what are they hiding from us?
What are they hiding? Maybe they knew I was looking.
Yeah.
And they were embarrassed.
Well, I don't know. They could be. Shall we call him?
Let's call him. Sam. It's Sam Roberts. We want to talk to Samuel. Anyway, if you know, let us know. Maybe you'll have to be part of the Look It Up Club out there in listening land, but we don't know that much about it. So then the last wine we're drinking is called Courtney Benham Rosé of Pinot Noir, and it's from the Los Carneros AVA of California. And that includes parts of both Napa and Sonoma. It's in Northern California. It's close to San Pablo Bay, and that area is a little bit cooler than many other areas in Napa and Sonoma. And so it is suited to growing Burgundy grapes like Pinot Noir and Chardonnay. So they're going to be hand-picked grapes made specifically for Pinot Noir. This wine also got a 90 rating from Beverage Dynamics and a 92, Carmela, from James Suckling.
Oh, boy. Thank God for that.
Yeah, if you haven't heard us say it for a little while, we don't trust James Suckling. Okay.
Jimmy is just...
Jimmy J.
We don't know how trustworthy he is.
We don't. And there's a little bit more about this wine that I could find out on their website. They mentioned that the grapes are whole cluster pressed, which makes me believe that this wine was made in the direct press method.
Okay.
And they also say that they use all native yeasts and they ferment and age in 100% stainless steel. So I'm expecting a nice, crisp, vibrant Pinot Noir Rosé.
Nice.
But that's it, Carmela. I think that's enough information. Have I talked enough?
So.
I think I've overtalked. Have I talked too much?
I won't say.
Did I talk too much?
You're a good talker. Again, the chatty, when it comes to the podcast, is all you, buddy.
I know. It's weird because in our real lives...
Well, no. Don't go down that road.
It's you who's chatty.
No, I wouldn't say.
The podcast is not our real life. It's our fake life.
Wait, don't. You're selling us out to the people. They don't think we do this all day.
The peeps. The peeps.
Our peeps.
All right, peeps. Well, hang on. We're going to take a break.
Grab that glass of wine.
Grab that glass of wine. Grab that glass of Rosé or Pinot Noir Rosé or Pinot Noir or whatever.
Whatever you're drinking.
Drink along with us. Pull over to the side of the road. Drink along with us.
Right.
While we take a break.
Hopefully you brought a bottle opener or perhaps
a screw cap.
A screw cap.
Or a can. Maybe you got a can of wine. Mm-hmm. Okay, we'll be back in a minute.
All right.
Okay, we are back and we are ready to try our first wine. And Carmela, it's a screw cap. So you can smell it and look at the bottle while I explain it really quickly. This is the D'Autrefroid Pinot Noir Rosé. It's D'Autrefois. It's from France, from the Pays d'Oc region. It's a 2022. It was only $13.99.
Okay, it's very pretty.
And we got it at Total Wine. And the alcohol is 12.5%. The grapes are Pinot Noir. And what are you smelling?
Well, I kind of smell some watermelon on it, maybe.
Definitely. A little watermelon candy.
Ooh, okay.
It's got sweetness on it for sure.
Even like a little bit of like floral smell to it, or rose maybe, or something like that. I don't know.
That. I've got a little citrus on it too. I smell a little citrusy.
Okay, like a lemon or an orange or a grapefruit.
I don't know. It's just got a little citrusy. I don't know exactly
little
what
lime?
It is. Maybe a little bit. I'm getting a little strawberry too. I feel like like a strawberry candy. It's very it's sweet.
It does have a sweet edge to it.
Okay, well let's taste it and see what we think.
Okay. Ooh, right away that candy taste.
It's sweet.
It's sweet.
It's pretty sweet.
Kind of like a Jolly Rancher.
Yeah, I feel it's not quite cloying, but it's pretty sweet. Like it's sugary sweet.
It's not syrupy though. It's not like
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not thick, but it's almost cotton candy like too.
It's sugary. This one tastes really sugary to me. I don't feel like it has a ton of depth on it,
or like a lot of like real fruit.
No, I'm getting citrus. So I think that's that acidity. I'm getting citrus on it, but it's sweet. It's more sweet than I would have expected. That means sweeter. When I say more
it's
sweet.
It's actually sweeter. It's not the sweetest.
It's not the sweetest like me. It's sweeter like you. I don't know.
I'm and you're S.
What do you think of it? I mean, like, I know we're not rating it yet, but
it's serious.
Jesus. Okay. Anyway, what food would you pair with this?
I do feel like this is reminding me of summer. I know that we're trying to get past a summer wine.
This is a summer sipper.
Yeah,
you're right.
But I do feel like this would be like a grill, like you'd be outside grilling.
To me, this is more of a cold by the pool, by the beach, but maybe you put an
like
ice cube or two in it. Dager.
I know it's a day kegger, but a day tea, a darty, a day party.
A diner?
A darty.
A dwiner?
I heard our niece say darty. That's gross
What
sounding.
is that?
A day party.
Oh, a darty? Okay, anyway, I do think you put ice cubes in it, but what food would you eat with this? So grilled foods?
I would do like grilled. I would like some grilled food with this. I'm
like right
hungry.
now? Okay.
Like, do you have anything on the barbecue?
No, nothing on the bobby. Shrimps on the bobby? Would you put shrimps on the
I could do this with some shrimp,
Okay,
yeah.
what about like a fish, like a white fish, like a grilled fish?
I think it would be nice.
What about any pastas? I don't know, this will be tough with pasta.
Yeah, it might be too much. Pasta might be too big for this.
I do kind of feel like this is a seafoody kind of wine, though.
I do too. I mean, you could do some like charcuterie too, like cheese, like a cheese board with this too.
For sure.
But I'm not sure I'd go down. Pastas seem too heavy for this.
Okay. And I don't think maybe like a chicken, like a lemon chicken, but I don't think you go with anything. This could probably do okay with like spicy foods.
Yes.
And maybe some salt, like a potato chip or something, but I don't
right, or even
French
like
fries,
I was gonna say French fries, or even like fish and chips.
Yeah, I could see that. But okay, overall, as a reminder on a rating scale, I forgot to do this a couple weeks ago.
Oh my!
We rate on a scale. Oh my! We rate on a scale of 1 to 10, where 7 and above means that we would buy it, and a 4 or below means that we're gonna pour it down the sink. And a 5 or a 6, menza, halfway. That means we're going to drink it and we'll finish it, but we might look for something else. We're not going to buy it.
Do you think we threw people off? Do you think people were like, oh my God, like, where are we now? Because you didn't say that?
Yes. They were like, I don't know what.
Were you getting like, just
why are they
like
giving it? They gave that wine a 7 on a scale of a million, on a scale of 1 to 7?
So many
what is
emails
it?
where people just like dinging
we got
you. Is that what you call it, dinging?
Yeah, pinging.
No, pinging.
Pinging. I say that and you don't know what I'm talking about. But anyway,
were they pinging you?
I had people
DMing
literally
you?
say, "Is it what's the
Calling
scale? Like 1 to
phone?
29? Like what is it?"
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe people were.
I think we should have a 1 to 29 scale.
Do you think it just kept them up all night?
Like, what if we said, I don't know, I'd give this wine like a 26. Oh, no, I'd give it a 23.
My God. And then they were like, wait.
No, I don't know what that means. Where a 15 or below. No, okay. Anyway, what rating would you give this wine?
Okay, I think that I'm going to give this a 6.
Okay. I think I'm giving it a 6.2. I think I'm giving it a very generous 6. I'm reserving the right to change it. It's not a 4. Like, it's definitely not a 4.
No, and it's absolutely
it's
easy
not
to
something-
drink. It's
yeah,
not.
I'm
It's
not
just.
gonna
I'm
pour
just
it
not
down
going
the
to
sink.
probably buy it.
Yeah, I'm trying to decide if I like it or if I'm like tolerant of it.
Oh, wow.
That's what I'm trying to get to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, we're going to take a break and we're going to try our next wine. Okay, we are back and we're ready to try our next wine. And I will say the last wine, the d'Autrefois, was super pink. This one is more red. It's
Yes.
pink, but it's kind of red. So anyway, this is the conscious, not conscience, but the conscious, like it is self-aware Pinot Noir Rosé. It's from Oregon, from the Willamette Valley. It's a 2022. It was only $14.99 at Total Wine. It's 13% alcohol, 100% Pinot Noir. And again, Beverage Dynamics gave it a 90. And Carmela, you're so... Like, she has a scowl. Like, she's really studying this
Well, it's
bottle
just
of wine.
kinda
It's a
weird.
screw cap.
It's a
But,
screw
like,
cap.
what's going on? You seem so troubled.
You're
Like,
talking about being,
I
like-
don't get it. Why are you so
Well,
troubled?
well,
Are you conscious? Is it looking at
because-
you? Is it staring
yeah,
at
I'm
you?
like,
It's
this
conscious?
thing is alive. I don't know what to think. It's just like, if we're trying to take Pinot Noir Rosés seriously, this is not the bottle to be
Okay.
directing people to, because, I mean, look at that bottle. It's just so... I mean, and it's just like, there's the label's strange, and there's like a red top and then a pink wording. I don't know.
You're
It's
bitter
all,
about it. You're
no,
mad
it's just
about it.
all
Okay.
over the place.
Well, let's smell it and see what we think.
Okay.
This one, I like the smell right off the bat. It's
I
almost
still
got a
think it's
little...
very sweet.
Really?
I think it's very candy-like.
I don't think this one is as
okay.
much. To me, it's got a little bit, but to me, it's got that Pinot Noir kind of cherry. I can smell some of that sweet cherry on it.
Okay,
Sweet.
okay.
I did say sweet, but like I got that cherry smell on it.
Yeah, more so than the last one, but
For
it
sure.
still has like a hard candy, like a
Like a cherry candy,
like
like
a cherry candy.
licorice?
It's
Like a
definitely
cherry
has more
licorice?
depth.
For sure has more depth.
for sure. So I wouldn't say like watermelon. You know,
No,
like I can
it
get
doesn't have that watermelon.
No, I
It
can
doesn't.
definitely get that cherry.
Maybe a tiny bit of strawberry, like a ripe strawberry. Not tiny, but like a ripe strawberry. What do you think about that?
I can almost smell the skin.
Of the strawberry?
Yeah,
Yeah.
or of just of a red
fruit.
fruit.
Yeah. And I am smelling a little bit almost like herb qualities, like, herby kind of qualities on it. I don't,
Right, some fresh air, or like, I don't know,
leaves. I'm smelling more like,
grass or grass. maybe?
yeah, grass. But I also, yes, that type, but also like a strawberry leaf or something, like those kinds of leaves.
Okay.
Well, let's taste it and see what we think. Oh, it's got a lot of depth.
It's got a lot of flavor.
It's actually kind of berry sweet.
There's a lot of fruit on this.
Yeah, but it changes as it goes through your mouth. Like, I feel like when it first hits the mouth, it's got a little bit of like almost citrusy acid on it, but then it gets actually warmer and fuller and more berry-like as you drink it.
Yeah. Ooh. It's definitely, I know it's cold. And this is, you could drink this one room temperature too. It doesn't have to be ice cold. Don't you think?
It's, what it reminds me of? Cherry juice. It's got a cherry juice flavor to it.
It is a juicy.
When my Aunt Anne used to make cherry juice, I don't know if you people out there in listening land have ever had cherry juice, but my Aunt Anne, she had a big double boiler with some sort of plastic or rubber tube on it, and she would steam the cherries and make cherry juice, and it was amazingly sweet and rich. And
Did she add sugar?
I don't think she did.
I mean, she may not need
and
it
it was
to.
usually made from a very dark cherry, like a black cherry. Like those really dark cherries.
Right,
and
right.
that's what this reminds me of a little bit.
Yeah. It's very pretty. It's in terms of just like the look too. Like would be a nice centerpiece. Just having these glasses of wine on the table.
Yeah, because it's dark. It's not a pink, like it's not a light pink wine. It's kind of dark. I think it's kind of dramatic. I agree. Like the bottle, the bottle almost doesn't do it justice.
That's how I feel. Yeah.
To me, this is, I'm going to nerd out, but I kind of do feel like this is a more serious wine, like a more substantial wine.
Well, sure.
It's got some like tannin. It's got some body to it. It's got more body to it than you would think just looking at it. What food would you pair with these conscious?
What about you? What do you think?
I feel like this would be really good with spicy foods. Like I'm got a hankering for some, good old Chinese food tonight, and
Ooh,
this would go great with it.
yeah, it would.
I think it would just
refreshing.
It's got good balance of acid and fruit,
Mm-hmm.
and a little bit of like citrus on it, and it's nice. It's just a nice wine.
It's a great wine.
How about you?
I would do the same. I'm kind of back to that whole like fish and chips too. Like
Okay,
fried
some more
fish.
fried foods?
Yeah.
Less of a flaky fish, probably, because it's got some sweetness on it that I think would be hard to pair.
Right, I agree.
But I think like grilled foods, this would do really nicely with. Good with charcuterie.
Smoky foods, even like smoked food would be nice.
That's a great call. I think smoked foods is a great call. Like even like a spicy smoked sausage.
Oh my!
We were talking about
like a pork or a beef sausage.
Either. But like, we were talking about tailgating wines. This would be a great tailgating wine.
Yeah, this would be nice.
It'd be a great tailgating wine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, what rating would you give this wine, my love?
Well, oh my goodness.
I'm
now
getting
you're,
Rosé is going to my head.
Oh my goodness. I know you're kind of, making me feel a little bashful now.
You're getting as red as the rosé.
Okay, I'm going to give this, I'm kind of teeter-tottering between a 7 and an 8, actually.
Me too.
Yeah, you know what? I like this one a whole lot more than the other. I think I'm going to give it an 8.
Me too.
Oh, wow.
I'm giving it an 8.
Okay.
We're 2 for 2
We're
on
in
our
sync
ratings.
here.
Yeah, it's a little weird. I'm still not sure. I think the D'Artois, whatever, it gets a 6, but I'm going to stick with it for now. But this one I do like quite a bit.
Really nice wine.
Okay, we're going to take a break.
Seriously.
It's a seriously good wine. Okay, we're going to take a break and try our last wine.
Okay.
Okay, we are back and we're ready to try our last wine. And she's just like, she's swirling that wine and it's like almost came over the top. I don't know what's going on. Now, I will say, we're not going to prejudge, but it is a cork. This wine did have a cork. And after 2 screw caps, you're just ready for
another screw cap.
Anyway.
You want to start with the cork?
No, it's fine. This is a Courtney Benham Rosé of Pinot Noir from Los Carneros, California. It's a 2021, and this one was $17.99. We got to get in at Total Wine, 13.1% alcohol, so just a little bit, 0.1 percent points above the last one, 100% Pinot Noir. And again, Beverage Dynamics gave this a 90, and Sucky James Suckling gave it a 92. But Carmela, what are you smelling?
Well, first of all, I wanted to comment on the bottle because it's quite pretty.
It's quite pretty.
And I love this girl. She's falling over on her bike, though. It's
very pink. This wine is very pink. The bottle is kind of that Riesling style.
It's almost orange, actually.
Yeah, it's that tall, thin style bottle.
Mm-hmm, very
and it
pretty.
has you noticed this, but it doesn't have a top label on it.
Yeah.
Like it has the label on the body.
It's a little rustic, but also a little bit formal,
elegant.
too. Yeah,
it's
and elegant.
Kind of pretty looking.
Yeah, I don't know what to think about it, but it's very pretty.
What are you smelling?
Okay, my first smell was not a very good smell.
Yeah, it's got earthy.
Yeah.
It's what I would call earthy smell. Almost like barnyardy kind of smell.
Yeah, it's almost a little bit, not rancid like the bottle's bad.
No.
But it does have a little bit of...
natural.
Yeah, or like basement even, but not like...
I think barnyard.
Okay, maybe
that's what I'm saying, barnyard.
Oh, you and your barnyard.
But it's not, it's
like
got a
chickies?
little...
Like baby chickies?
Yeah. Like, I'm thinking
Animal
about... Yeah, when we go to we're going to go to the pumpkin patch one of these days in October. And it kind of smells like that.
It kind of smells like... A
farm.
It does.
God damn it.
I'm getting that because I couldn't put my nose on it before, but now that's what I'm getting.
I am getting kind of that watermelon candy on the, like if you really smell into it, you can get that watermelon candy, but that's not the first smell.
And I feel like it's after it's been open for a little while. Like after it's been in your glass, then you can get it's a little more
And you
complex.
stop swirling it. If you swirl it too much, you get kind of a poopy kind of smell.
Ooh.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
You get that barnyardy kind of smell. But if you let it sit in the glass...
A little more sweeter. A little candy.
Yeah, I think we should try it. Let's see what we think. We both went, It's very citrusy, actually.
Bitter. Kind of bitter.
And bitter. It's got like it's almost like orange, like an orange pith, like almost orangey. It's a sweet citrus. It's got some tartness, but it's a sweet citrus. Maybe more of like a lemon lime citrusy kind of taste. You know what I mean?
It has a bit of like, this is going to sound weird, but kind of like a LaCroix. Kind of like that, that carbonated water that has a little bit of bitterness on it.
It's actually, none of that like kind of barnyardy kind of taste is coming through, but it's in the bitterness.
Mm-hmm. And
like,
this was in stainless steel.
Yes, 100% stainless steel. But it's I don't know how to describe it. It's that the the bitterness on it, it's like slate. Like it's got rocky minerality.
Rocky, that was our dog.
Our doggy. It's got minerality to it. Like this wine has minerality. You can taste rocks and shit.
Yes, or like a river rocks.
Yes.
Something river rock.
Yeah. So this is pretty complex. Like this is kind of a complex wine. I think even the smell, that barnyard.
There's a lot to talk about.
There's a lot to talk about. It's pretty.
Yeah.
I do think this is not your summer sipper by the pool wine. I don't think. I mean, it's a nice wine. I think it's more serious.
I'm not sure if
honestly
it's a huge crowd pleaser though either. I'm not sure everybody's going to love this wine.
No, I agree, but I think it's more of like I don't know. I kind of hate to think that maybe this is a wine that's kind of in between. Like the wine snob might go, oh, I don't know. And the wine, the rosé lover would be like, oh, I don't know. But I actually think it's got some elegance to it and some like seriousness to it.
Well,
it's serious.
It's so serious. The whole serious thing is, what do you mean? Like you can have a conversation about it and kind of analyze it serious? Or?
Yeah, like you can ponder it. You can think about it. You can consider it.
Oh, okay.
It's got grassiness to it. I'm tasting grassiness. What food might you pair with this Courtney Benham Rosé a Pinot Noir did?
Whoa. I think that this could stand up to more richer foods. Like you could do a pasta with this.
I totally agree.
Yeah. And you could do
a seafood pasta, especially.
Oh, that would be nice. You could even do like you said, this one doesn't feel so summery. I feel like you could do a pizza, like a white pizza with this. Something bready with this would be.
This is a good.
Be good.
Yeah, this is a good fall wine. This is a Thanksgiving wine,
and it would look so nice on the table.
Yeah, this is much more of a winter fall holiday kind of. White meat
feel.
Yeah, white meat kind of wine. I think this would be a great.
How about the other white meat?
And pork. Yes, pork. Anyway, that was weird. The way I said it was weird. Okay, well, what rating would you give Courtney Benham?
I'm going to give Miss Courtney Benham. I'm going to give her Courtney could be a guy's name too.
It could be. Could be. I know a lot of Courtneys. They're women, but you're right. It's like Shannon. I know mostly women named Shannon, but I know a guy. I know a few guys named Shannon. Okay, but what are you going to give it, Carmelo?
Oh, no, my name is Carmela.
Yeah.
But I'm going to give this, I'm thinking about like a 7.
I knew it. I wrote it down. I'm giving it an 8. I think it's a really nice wine.
Wow.
It's a different wine, but I like it. It's got kind of austerity to it.
You always like things that are like a little bit weird,
like you. Okay. So which of these wines are you finishing tonight, Carmelo?
Oh my God. My name is Carmela.
What is?
How about when the kids, when Marianne, not the kids,
Carm.
Our daughter will call me Carm, and then I call her Mar.
And she hates
And she doesn't go by Mar. She goes by Mare.
Can you tell me which one you're finishing?
I am definitely having the conscious one. The one
conscience.
That's alive.
It's not
the conscience. Because that's what I thought.
It's not alive, it's self-aware.
Okay. I want the self-aware wine tonight.
Yeah, because if a computer program becomes self-aware, is it alive? No, it's self-aware. It's conscious.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
That's so deep.
It's
so serious.
It's different than life.
Wow.
Okay. I actually think I really liked that wine. I really, really liked it. But because I want to share, I'm going to have this one. I'm going to stick with Courtney.
You're so nice.
Yeah.
So nice.
Okay, so let's talk about the taste profiles expected from a Pinot Noir Rosé.
Okay.
Wine enthusiast says, in general, Pinot Noir Rosé is typically fruity, fresh, and elegant in style with mild acidity to brace its cherry and light spice flavors. Spice, it's interesting. White cherry and zesty citrus. And a website called In Good Taste says crabapple, watermelon, strawberry, melon.
Okay.
Now, the D'Artois, I can't say it, Pinot Noir Rosé, the winery says, this delightful dry rosé is filled with fresh strawberry and cherry aromas. A pleasant acidity balances the fruity palate. How'd we do?
Okay.
We did
okay. Yeah, definitely strawberry.
We had a lot of watermelon.
We did.
Conscious Pinot Noir Rosé, the winery says, an elegant light ballet slipper pink in color. No, it's not. It's dark.
No, it's so red.
Refreshingly crisp and complex. The nose is delicate with hints of stone fruit and white tropical flowers. Bright acidity delights the palate with wild strawberries, nectarine, and a hint of guava.
Okay, a little bit of that.
Maybe.
Strawberry again.
Beverage Dynamics says a bright watermelon pink. I'm not so sure about that. Hint of sweetness at the finish and strawberry notes linger lovely. Petite Cellar says The ripe fruit flavors run from strawberry to maraschino cherry to kumquat to marmalade. I think that's right.
Yes,
I think they're right.
Cherry.
I think they're totally spot on. Petite Cellars is spot on. Okay, the Courtney Benham Rosé of Pinot Noir. Beverage Dynamics says, this wine is a lovely cotton candy pink color with bright notes of strawberry candy and lemon zest. Light and refreshing, easily paired with light hors d'oeuvres. The winery says a refreshing complex rosé full of ripe fruit and bright acidity, candied strawberry, cherry, apricot, kumquat, and citrus blossoms.
Interesting. Wow.
There you go. So what do you think, Carmela? Rosé of Pinot Noir, is it a serious wine?
Seriously, it's serious.
It's so
hands down, it's so serious.
Why so serious? That's
Why
what I
so serious?
Okay.
I agree. No, what do you think?
I mean, look, I was leading the jury. Of course, I think it's a serious wine, but it's also a fun wine. Like it's not. No, you don't have to be like.
It's serious in the sense that we want people to take it seriously
and to like try it and really just be open-minded and enjoy it.
Right. You don't have to be
serious. So close-minded.
Oh, people.
Come on.
Come out of your shell.
Right. No. And if you're in a shell, you're probably a hermit crab. No,
or a turtle.
They don't have shells.
A turtle.
But you can come out of a shell.
Do.
No, they take on other things to be their shell.
No, but it's a shell. They don't go into like a,
Oh, they do though.
A pencil sharpener. No.
They would.
No, they go into shells, honey. Have you ever seen hermit crabs?
Yeah, but if you had an empty pencil sharpener, they would go into it. Guaranteed. Look it up. Be part of the Look It Up club. Okay. Carmela, it's time for us to go. But before we do want to thank you very much for listening to us. And if you haven't done so yet, come on right now. Subscribe. Be a great time to subscribe to our podcast and support us. We're being serious about this. And also, please leave us a serious but friendly and fun and positive and 5-star rating and review on our website or at Apple Podcasts. So people will go, oh my gee, these people are serious and fun. They're seriously fun. Okay. There we go. And we'd also love to hear from you and maybe about a wine you'd like us to taste and review. And a wine maybe you think, hey, is this a serious wine or not? And we'll tell you what we think. Okay. You can leave a message for us on our website at thewinepairpodcast.com. And you can join our email newsletter there. Woohoo! And you can just email us if you want to at joe@thewinepairpodcast. I've got a bunch of emails this week. I don't know what's going on. Serious Winely. Okay. Oh. And you can follow us on Instagram and on Threads, although I'm not doing anything on Threads. But Instagram, I'm pretty good about posting. So come on, respond to our post, comment, tell us how much you love us. How about that? That's
wow,
weird.
The pressure.
That's too much. Yeah. All right. I think that's enough, Carmela. I've gone off the deep end. We're going to say thanks again. We're going to sign off, and we'll see you next time. And like we like to say, life is short, so stop drinking that shitty, non-serious wine. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And the happy ending at the end of our story. Always think too much, always drink too much, always pray too much, always play too much. And when I'm with you too much, I fall in love too much. And when I'm away too much,